My father, Mario, was born in the 1940s in Argentina. He was very poor, but he sort of had this dream about coming to this magical place, America, where anyone could achieve anything. He arrived on October 28th, 1963, at 17 years old. He didn't speak a word of English. He had $4 in his pocket. He was sweeping floors in the garment district of Los Angeles for $1.25 an hour. And he badly wanted to learn English, so he permanently tuned his radio to Vin Scully's Dodger broadcast, and he listened to it all day, and he called Vin his English teacher.
22nd time that Koufax has struck out 10 or more this year.
An immigrant can come here and learn to speak English listening to the Dodgers, and fast forward one generation, his son can be an owner of that team. That dream is still here. We are going to make sure that dream not only stays alive, but is expanded. My name is Smolinisky. I'm 42 years old. I have 3 children, married an incredible girl, and I clearly married up. Anna, this is you. Get there, Charlie. Oh, Charlie's out. I think I came out wired to be an entrepreneur. I was always starting businesses from a very young age, from lemonade stands and selling lollipops. There was never a question in my mind of what I was going to do in life. I was going to be like my dad and be an entrepreneur. He ended up spending his entire life in that garment district. And after several years, he started his own business. My parents had success with the business enough to give my sister and I all the opportunities they never had. We were the first generation to go to college. I was a freshman at USC, and there was only one landlord that had nice buildings. We started hanging out, and I said, you should build something, and we'll partner, and we'll build all these apartment buildings around USC for students. When my partner and I went for our first construction loan, all these loans were personal recourse, meaning you had to sign a personal guarantee that you would pay them back. We had to find a guarantor, and my dad quickly volunteered. And I said, Dad, the construction loan is more than your net worth. I mean, you've worked your whole life, you're gonna sign this. He didn't hesitate a second. And of course, it all ended well, but if you could think about that, signing that document, betting on your son who had never built anything, didn't know anything about construction or real estate, that was pretty special. We found a piece of land and we built our first apartment building. And then it was very successful. And so we are coming on to the first 3 properties I ever built here. I mean, they still look great 20 years later. Look at this. We put roof decks on the top. We included internet and 500 channels of television and parking and utilities and everything included. It was very compelling for the students, for the parents, and for us. It was a win-win, which is always best in business, when it's a win-win. We started expanding it, and we had built 1, then 2, then 5, then 10, and then pretty soon we housed 1 out of 3 students at USC. We're still partners to this day, 22 years. We do public securities investment, we do equipment leasing, we have media, we still have a large market real estate business. So we are approaching Dodger Stadium. I had started exploring sports ownership, owning a team. My dad and I had always bonded over sports. We had been to hundreds of Dodgers and Lakers games together, and the same way I am with my son today. I love that iconic sign on the right that's been there since the late 50s. After about a year of back and forth and negotiation, it became real. And I became an owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Here we are, top of the world. Never gets old coming up that hill, done it hundreds and hundreds of times. My father would talk to us about how great this nation is. And the reason it all started was that Declaration of Independence: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I think about my dad in all of that. This is like a church or a temple for my family. My dad bringing me to my first game in 1981, or the very last game I ever attended with my dad. We sat right over here on the first baseline with my son. 3 generations of Dodger diehards.
As the Dodgers take the field.
When I think about everything my mother and father had to go through as immigrants in the country and starting with less than nothing, it makes me want to create the opportunity they had for more and more people. It makes me want to expand that relationship. And until I partnered with Stand Together, I really didn't know how to go about doing that. What Stand Together is so great at is identifying the people in the organizations that can help unleash that human potential. It's just presented the opportunities to go even bigger than I ever dreamed and accomplish things that I never thought imaginable. And they're going to be centered around the issues that are most important to me, and that's going to be poverty eradication and immigration reform. So as I got more and more involved with Stand Together on immigration, I thought, how could I go bigger? How could I contribute more? So I decided to host a large naturalization ceremony on the field at Dodger Stadium. We have 2,119 new citizens being sworn in and are aged 18 to 90 years old, including 17 active duty military. This is the final step to take that sacred oath, the same oath that my mother and father took, to become a true American.
From Europe, Latin America, and the Caribbean, Asia, and Africa, young and old, they pledge their allegiance on this field of their dreams in the heart of LA.
You're about to be citizens of the freest nation in human history, and free people are capable of extraordinary things.
You are all now citizens of the United States of America.
The responsibility is to break down more barriers and create more opportunity so that more people in the country can achieve their dreams. Once you've done that, there's really no limit to what can be accomplished and what that does for the greater good of society. Because my dad made that choice to come to the greatest, freest nation in the history of the world, we have all these opportunities to extend this American dream to more and more people.